a shock to the system. Sean Murphy playing it, and Kevin Foley now playing the sweeper, but they're all more comfortable now. And look, there's a serious element of attack in it as well. Like, it's kind of look at. So like they're just more comfortable now in their skills, and plus the younger lads who were only coming through under Davy, that they were coming out of minor and that. Now they're like the likes of Rory O'Connor now. So what class of a player have you there now? You've a top class guy.
Kevin Foley then I think is actually a perfect sweeper. He plays now as an offensive sweeper because he played a forward underage, a lot of his hurling in the forward line, and he's looking forward the whole time. And that's the way.
And it's what Wexford need, because even Paddy Foley wing back, Dee O'Keefe midfield, everyone is pushing up the field that bit more. It's not leaving one forward isolated. They're up supporting each other. And the thing that's crucial for Wexford, everyone knows their job and they stick to it and they do it in confidence then.
How much better, Ursula, are they this year? Like, have they taken a massive stride? I know that they've obviously beaten Kilkenny to become Leinster champions, but is it more than that? Are they just a much better team than they were, say, this time last year?
Yeah, I think they're finely tuned, they're organised, the standard has raised across the board, even from the free taking, and that could be crucial here today. Wexford maybe in the last couple of years have struggled with their free taking. Lee Chin in the last couple of games in particular, he has just been so solid, so composed, and the body language from him is, give me the ball, I want to put it over the bar. There's no doubting on who's taking the points, who's taking the frees, and to me, everyone knows their job and is ready to stand up to that challenge then too.
I think that has evolved during the season as well. It's like we went the game in Salt Hill where a bit of uncertainty, but as Lee Chin's form as a player, or just in general player, he's got back to the form of 2 years ago, and that goes hand in hand. If you're a free taker, if you're hurling well, you're more confident with the frees.
He got a point, Sergeant, down in Wexford Park in Kilkenny, I think, to draw the game. It was a real pressure free, and 2 or 3 years ago you wouldn't be confident in him putting it over. He'd have stepped up, took his time, and there was only one result.
But don't they need Lee Chin and all their really big players, so Rory O'Connor the last night, and obviously Diarmuid O'Keefe, do they need them to just stand up again today?
Yeah, look, I think they're very confident playing the system, but here I think they have 3 or 4 marquee players, but they wouldn't have maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Rory O'Connor was highlighted there. He loves holding his run and coming onto the pop pass. He's brilliant at doing it, and I think Rory O'Connor is quickly coming into that top bracket of the best players in the country, and I think he's the potential to be that. And here's a score here, Liam McGovern again, and that's flair, that's inventive stuff, and that's really positive hurling. Wexford wouldn't do that before, Kevin Foley here, as playing as an offensive sweeper, having a look up, giving Dee O'Keefe, who to me, such a dynamic midfielder, he's always driving forward. I say he's a nightmare to mark, he's full of energy, he's everywhere. And he's popping up with scores. I think he's 9 or 10 points from playing the championship. And here's Jack O'Connor, another probably unsung hero, who can win his own ball. The minute he gets the ball, Dee O'Keefe is just going forward. That's it, wouldn't be on his mind. I'm going here, I'm trying to get a score, loses his marker. Now, he's very, very accurate when he gets a shot then. I said left or right, he can tap it over. And probably then the main player is probably as important to Wexford as TJ is to Kenny, is Lee Chin.
Wow.
He lifts everyone. He can win primary possession, which a lot of players can't do anymore. But he's really after growing in confidence, his striking, his skill. He wins ball after ball. I think he's having his best year. You have to bring in Conor McDonald as well. He's having a great season, right? But here's Wexford, and people say they're an offensive team. I think there's 7 players from the 45 up. 2 years ago, that wouldn't be like that. There'd be one player there, maybe hoping that shot goes over the bar. But they have options, and I think they have marquee players which they didn't before. They need to perform. But I think they have a great chance.
And that's the team, obviously, they're going to be facing this afternoon. And it is a team, Anthony, who knows, obviously, what way they're going to set up. So I know we mentioned Noel McGrath and Seamus Callanan earlier with Ursula and how important they are. McGrath tends to supply Callanan and most of the forward line with the ball that gives him the opportunity to do this. So does Davy Fitz have a particular plan in mind, or is that important to stop McGrath's influence in the game?
Well, with a midfielder, I suppose he'll try and get a match up there, because he'll obviously have a man coming out there. So it's hard to speculate on who Davy would have lined up. Obviously Damien Rick is in as a, we all knew he was coming in, I suppose, but so Damien might be charged with John McGrath and Liam Ryan. They trust on Callanan, and it's a big call, but Liam Ryan has been an outstanding fullback. Maybe quite not quite in the form he has been. Yeah, there's an interested spectator there now.
Who do you reckon he'd like to meet in the final, huh?
I'd say he's kind of happy enough now just to watch it and see what happens. You know what I mean? I think he's nicely content and leave him at it. It's a lovely place to be, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. Our build up to the second All-Ireland hurling semi-final of this year continues next with an interview with Davy Fitzgerald.
Did I think that there was possible? I believe anything is possible. I've always been that way. I remember when I went into Clare at the start, we hadn't won anything in, I know, was it 15 years or something like that. 14, we hadn't done a thing, and people said you were mad.
Last few words of instruction for a key man for Wexford, Kevin Foley, this afternoon. This year 3 in the Davy Fitzgerald Wexford plan. In year 1, they reached the Leinster final. Year 2 saw them finish 3rd in the province before they lost to Clare by 7 points in an All-Ireland quarter-final. As Davy considered his future last August, 11 players from Wexford hopped into cars and drove to their manager's house in Clare to convince him to return for a 3rd year. That has now yielded them a first Leinster title in 15 years, but the manager wants more.
Leinster champions for 2019, Wexford.
When the Leinster title was an incredible feeling, I suppose. Wexford hadn't done it in so long. To see the emotion of the people was fantastic, and that's what I get the biggest kick out of hurling, is when I seen people so happy. And did I think that there was possible? I believe anything is possible. I've always been that way. I remember when I went into Clare at the start, we hadn't won anything in, I know, was it 15 years or something like that. 14, we hadn't done a thing, and people said you were mad. Saying going into Wexford, and I never believe you're mad. If you can get a bunch of boys to work really hard and believe in something, you always have a chance. It's very important that you celebrate afterwards. And they did that for 2 or 3 days. They were allowed to do it. Then I rang them in the county board and I said, lock away that cup, I don't want to see it afterwards. And whenever this is over, whether we win or lose or whatever, so it's in 100%. They can do whatever they want and enjoy it as much as possible. But we came back on Thursday and it was straight back to business. And I think the lads really wanted that too. They've been phenomenal so far. I think maybe tactically, if Liam had his chance back, I think he'd do things different than he did in the Munster final. But for me, I think they've been incredible in the championship. And we're right up there against a really top team. And defensively, we've been okay. We've been pretty good. But the next day we're playing, I think, the 6 best forwards in the country. They are right there. So they are individually, they're incredible guys. We're going to need to be at our best the next day. We want them to bring the physicality. We want them to bring everything they have, and let's see where we're at. And if we can try and match it, that's what we have to do, is match anyone that brings that sort of stuff to the table. I think there's 2 or 3 things crucial the next day. One, if we give the tip forward space, it's game over. If we give them any bit of space, it's game over. I think it's crucial how we are on the ball, that we're smart. I think that's very important. And also the last factor is we have to walk and tackle like we've never tackled before. We will have to be right up there on that stakes, and I mean, we're going to have to be really good in the tackle. You've got to be passionate when you're there. Sometimes you'll do things and it might be over the line and that, but by and generally try and do the right thing as much as possible. The day you lose that bit of fight and that bit of go is the day you shouldn't be involved. Can we beat Tip? Yeah, we can. If we're spot on, we can beat anyone out there. So we can, but we have to be at 100%. As I said, 90% 1-2. If we're at 100% and if we play our game the way we can play it, we can beat anybody. But we have to be spot on. As I've been saying to the guys, it's a great thing. Like, we're hurling coming in nearly to the first week of August. Let's just take it on and see what happens.
Few interesting nuggets in there from Davy Fitzgerald as we watch the joint captain of Wexford, Matthew O'Hanlon, and Tip's skipper, Shamie Callanan, in for the toss. It does look like it's definitely going to beat the 55,000 that we had in yesterday's semi-final. I did ask earlier about the fact, could Wexford do something different today? You reckon they did something quite different in that Leinster final that took you by surprise?
Absolutely, Joanne. I don't think any of us saw it. You know, Fitzy's known for the sharp workouts, but the way they mixed it up, I mean, did we see long ball down the middle? Now maybe Hugh Lawler, who's playing well to be fair, recovered very well from a shaky enough first half, but he didn't really go for the space, like, you know, he went down the middle so often. I think it even took Brian Cody by surprise, and that's now a fair statement because I tell you that doesn't happen too often. But they got joy off it, like they won balls. Conor McDonald won an early one, caught it, they worked this one to Chin, you know, nails the scores. Like they had them confused a bit, I felt early on, and you know they were still willing to go short though if Kilkenny thought were being lulled back the field. So they work at shots, don't know who to Chin travels with it. Now they had nobody up here, and I remember distinctly watching outside, so they had nobody up, but they didn't panic, worked it back to the O'Keefe, and they trusted the long range shooting. I think Davy has said a lot there, they have to be absolutely right. They had only 3 wides that day, like, you know, even the long range shots went over, so he's aware of that, like, you know, and like they were willing to. Mark Fanning obviously had an outstanding role in winning the Leinster title with the penalty on, but again, it's touching back on Ken's point where D. O'Keefe, look where he is again. So it's just not just one set way of playing, which maybe we criticised them after the last 2 quarter-finals, but it was definitely. Now today, are they going to lump it down the middle today? I cannot see that with Pádraig Maher there. Pádraig Maher is likely to be an extra guy, so I would say the boy he might form the same way, Joanne. They might go into the middle, but I would say you'll see sprinters hitting for the wings and Mark Fanning hitting space. Different tactic, and in fairness to him, he has mixed it up brilliantly this year, I would have felt.
What way do you see this going, Ursula?
Look, I think it's going to be a really tight tactical game. I think Wexford need to get such a quick start. We've seen yesterday's game where Limerick were too casual, they were a bit flat, whereas today Wexford need everything to go right for them, obviously, but they need a really important big start from their big guys, and I think if we're still in it at half-time, I think we're in a good chance.
Are Wexford or Tip going to win, Ken?
Depends how Wexford handle the 4 weeks, and Ursula is bang on. You have to start the game well. The opposite Limerick last night, and I think Wexford will get a chance, and I vote for Wexford.
Anthony?
Well, I suppose we saw a touch of the Empire striking back yesterday, so I'm going to go for the Empire to strike back. Desperate hard to call, absolutely. Like, Tip on the form, as I said, of the last 3 games wouldn't be winning, but if they can get back to the early season groove, I think they might have enough.
Okay, we may have 2 Jedis in the final, but you never know. Wexford might have something to say about that. Not long till they begin their first All-Ireland semi-final in 12 years. Let's head back over to our commentary team and get team news with Michael Dignan and Darren Maloney.
Thank you, Joanne. Yes, I'd love to keep the Star Wars thing going, but I just can't think of anything clever enough to say at this point of the afternoon. Michael Dignan here beside me. Great occasion already. We know, and we've known for a while, that there's going to be more Wexford support here, Michael. But, you know, we have, I suppose, questions about both teams. We're about to get the answers very shortly. Not doubts, just questions that we want answers for.
Well, there's probably less questions over Wexford, to be honest. They've been very consistent, the only unbeaten team in the championship this year. And their form got a huge boost last night with Kilkenny winning. You know, Wexford beat Kilkenny in the Leinster final. They were the better team on the day. They matched them physically. So I think we know what we're going to get from Wexford. A massive performance. It's Tipperary, I suppose. We've seen both Tipperaries this year. Brilliant in the early stages of the championship. And then the second half of the Munster final just collapsed. And workmanlike and just scraped over the line against Laois. So what team will we see? Bonner Maher a massive loss from that half-forward line. And when that half-forward line doesn't function, they're in big trouble. So I just think Tipperary might get a bit more room today. They might edge it.
Okay, let's get into these 2 teams, starting with Wexford. Mark Fanning, the goal-scoring hero in the Leinster final, with a penalty his manager would have been proud of from his playing days. And the spine of the team strong. They have made 1 late switch, with Damien Reck replacing Shane in defence. D. O'Keefe has been having a brilliant year, scored 2 points in the Leinster decider and scored 3 in their league win over Tipperary in the spring. Wexford hit only 3 wides in the Leinster final. They'll need another near flawless day if they're to make it to the All-Ireland final. Lee Chin has become the spiritual leader of this group, with his skill, energy and the freeze vital to their chances, but they've had 15 different scorers from play in the championship, and the O'Connor boys and Conor McDonald know where the posts are if they are given the chances. Now, Tipperary, Liam Sheedy, he's beefed up his team with the addition of Barry Heffernan and Michael Breen to the lineup. We mentioned about questions and answers. Well, we're about to get the answers to the questions we have over puck-out strategies. Who will be left free after Brendan Maher performed that duty against Laois? But some felt it robbed them of his talents further up the field. James Barry comes out of the published side. Seamus Kennedy comes in. It's not clear if he'll be at full-back or not. The Tipperary forwards destroyed all before them in the Munster round-robin, but the loss of upon Armagh is a major one. They still have huge scoring power in that unit, with Seamus Callan scoring a goal in each of his 6 championship matches this year. 6-14 for him from Clay. Tipperary will go for goals early. If they can find the space, they have the firepower to unlock any defence. Looking at the 2 benches, will Aidan Nolan available again after suspension for Wexford and after his exploits for the under-20s on Tuesday. Jake Morris, one of the standout talents on the bench, along with Jerome Cahill, who also starred in that victory.
Back to the 2 lads in a moment. Anthony Daly had an interesting observation to do with that change in the Tipperary defence.
Yeah, Joel, like I just feel if you're going playing against Wexford in a championship game now, especially here, you better be able to play wing back, corner back, full back, centre back. And I think, you know, there's method in that with James Kennedy and Barry Heffernan. You know, Barry Heffernan will be more known as a half-back. You know, standing UL, centre-back, and brilliant Fitzgibbon winning team with John McGrath on that team as well. So, but that's the flexibility you'll need. He could find himself as a loose player, because I don't know will Fitzy allow Pádraig Maher. You know, he will keep rotating guys out on top of Pádraig Maher. So they could have Barry Heffernan. Barry Heffernan's a very good hurler, so that's it.
So no chance of Brendan Maher, because obviously he did it against Laois the last day.
But I think from the Leinster final, they put Brendan Maher back in Aaron Gillane, and while they did the job in Aaron Gillane that they wanted, they took away so much from their attack with Brendan driving out the field.
So he's just going to play your regular wing-back role?
It's even hard. The modern game, matchups is even hard to say who's on who. You have to be so versatile as a defender. Then, you know, we won't know until the first 2 or 3 minutes to see exactly what it's going to pan out with, who's actually going to be free. But obviously, you were saying the last time, Anthony, the ball was going to James Barry, and it didn't suit James or the tip team really, and they didn't get much for it going forward. And look, they have 6 different probably backs at this stage. We'd all be comfortable taking it, you know. So
in that interview we heard from Davy Fitzgerald, he actually was very open about a lot of things. I mean, he openly said we're not going to let Tipperary have that space, and he also referred to them having the 6 best forwards in the country. And I know managers say that about opposition teams all the time, Ursula, but that does tend to be a general consensus as well.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt about it. Tip, if they're on form and on fire, they can do so much damage. And I think Davy will be saying that to his defence and trying to keep things as tight at the back. But like, Tip have scored 12 goals in this championship. If they're the one team, give him half a chance. We spoke about John McGrath. He only got about 3 possessions in the Munster final and scored 1-1. You know, Bubbles, what if he's on form today? Wexford, Jason Ford, who we haven't even mentioned, has probably consistently played very good throughout the games and is lethal on the frees. So you know, Davy knows he's going to.
He's been, you know, the shots we've seen of us, John, he's been very animated out there. Like, you had him in a huddle there, and he's.
This is Davy. You nearly think too animated.
If they win, everything will be perfect, sure. Do you know? But it just sometimes the fine lines. Can you lose it a little bit? You know, he obviously knows Liam will be fired up as well for this one. So
for you or against you, you know, as you said, once you win, everything's right. If you lose, too much talk and too much in the warm-up, you know. But I think beyond next to Brian Cody, he's the most experienced in the county manager. He's in for 13 years, I think he's done now.
Very successful.
So he should be after learning. And look, he is successful in 3 different counties. So
a quick word from Ursula, because the Wexford woman has an objection to the Kilkenny man officiating today.
Yeah, well, I just feel that, you know, regardless of the result yesterday, I don't think there should be a Kilkenny referee today, because look, Kilkenny now are in the final, and you know, is it going to influence some decisions?
you think Brian Cody was on the blower last night?
No, but you know, I think there's more options than that. You know.
Yeah, but look, they're looking for their best referees, and that's immediately suggesting.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's going to be swaying towards Wexford or Tipperary, but I just think when, you know, I wouldn't feel that James Owens from Wexford should have been refereeing yesterday if he was selected. You know, it's the same. Yeah.
It's more that he's in an awkward position as opposed to suggesting that there might be anything untoward from him. Okay, gotcha. Don't forget, as always, you can get your commentary Oscar a few saved on RT News now, but it's time for us to hand over to our team here. That's Michael and Darren.
Joanne, thank you very much indeed. Well, as you can see, the team's parading around over in front of the Cusack stand. The noise, absolutely superb. I think there was close to 71,000 here last year for Cork and Limerick. We may be heading towards that kind of territory today in numbers. I think I was told that there's something like a third of the population of County Wexford here today in this match.
It's incredible. They are the most incredible supporters. Every county likes to take their own supporters, but I know from experience over the years that the Wexford people are so passionate, even when they're going badly. It must give their players some lift. And talking to Tom Dempsey here, he said in all these years he's never seen a bigger crowd travelling up the road. He reckons up to 50,000 Wexford people here. Just incredible. What an atmosphere.
For sure, and well, the Tipperary supporters who've made the journey to Croke Park today are outnumbered. There's very little question or doubt about that. Liam Sheedy during the week made an appeal. Maybe appeal is too strong a word, but he did want as many Tipperary followers as possible to come up and support this team.
Well, we're going to know, I think, the start of this game is so crucial. We have to see what Tipperary, how much of that Munster final defeat take out of them. They looked very flat against Laois. Was that just getting over the match, getting to the final? And we're going to know an awful lot about Tipperary's attitude, about how they are mentally at the start of this game. And I expect the first 5 or 10 minutes to be very, very intense. And talking about the referee, I don't know about the Kilkenny element, but he's going to be under pressure. All inter-county refs at the moment. The speed of the game, the power of the players, they're being asked to, really try to get up and down the field as well on their own and looking at timekeeping and the incidents like the line ball last night. There's so much for referees to look out for. I think it's very, very difficult for one man in the modern game to keep an eye on everything.
Michael, the Tipperary, the threat, the goal-scoring threat, the talent they have in their attack. Will Wexford, in the first few minutes of this, go, right, we're going to shut up shop here? And typically, they're going to tear into Wexford here, or try to, in the first 10 minutes, go for goals.
They are, and I think they've picked a real hurling team from the full back line out. Barry Heffernan and Seamus Kennedy, James Barry has been struggling, but all of these lads on the tip team can hurl. So where they've really struggled in the last few matches, pucking the ball out to James Barry. James is a good man marker, but he's not comfortable on the ball. And both the Limerick and the Laois team were happy to see James Barry getting the ball because they were wasting a lot of possession. You're going to see a different Tipperary. Wexford will sit back and soak it up, but they're no slouches either. And I think that he still has it beforehand. Sean their key men was outstanding to show how all their main men are playing. So fantastic, our on living.
Noise around Croke Park on the north side of Dublin City as Sean Clear, the referee from Kilkenny, is joined by his linesman Colin Lyons and Johnny Murphy. Dan McCormack has gone out to midfield. Wexford won the toss. Whatever wind there is here today is favouring Wexford in the first half. They will attack Hill 16. The game is on. Kilkenny await the winners in 3 weeks' time. And that is Jack O'Connor going back to Tawdy Foley, and Foley from halfway. The Wexford supporters love it and they roar it over the bar as Wexford take the lead inside 14 seconds. Tawdy Foley.
Yeah, lovely pass there back by Jack O'Connor. He won possession, he looked back, and Tawdy Foley, great long range striker, breeze behind him there, just a great start. And in the Leinster final, only 3 wides as well. I think Wexford have worked really hard in long range shooting.
I don't know, does that settle the early nerves? It's too early to do that. Here's Cathal Barrett of Tipperary. Last 2 matches they've been flat. Ronan Marr from halfway to equalise, and Ronan Marr has done just that. 1 chance each, 1 point each.
Yeah, and what a part of the modern game this is now. Wing backs, centre backs, well able to score. The light slitter, Bubbles Dwyer on the ground there. Doesn't seem to be much in it. He's back up again. Got a little bit of maybe Sean Murphy getting a bit of a dig pass.
Mark Fanning right down the middle, caught by Lee Chin. Rumours that he was carrying an injury. Chin hits that one straight up into the air. D. O'Keefe is chasing it down. The flight to see Hogan, the goalkeeper. D. O'Keefe for Wexford just flips it back inside over the head of Rory O'Connor. Well, they really should have made something more out of that, but there is still a chance to slip by Rory O'Connor of Wexford. The Leinster champions, first Leinster title in 15 years. Rory O'Connor has made something of it. Brilliant individual skill. It looked like the chance had gone. Rory O'Connor, the link with 96 is there. Wexford 2-1.
Yeah, what a score. Rory O'Connor has been brilliant during the championship. Only 20. But what was Brian Hogan doing? Really should have come out under that ball. Nobody at home for Tipperary. And this looks to be a tactic of Wexford dragging everybody out the field. Tipperary going man for man and nobody sitting in front of Brian Hogan.
This has gone down towards Seamus Calvin, caught by Liam Ryan. They're winning those little mini battles already, but it's still so early. Wexford to the task already. Here's Liam Ryan again. An old-style fullback, but look at him playing right half forward at the moment. Liam Ryan shortens the stick and Ryan puts the ball over the bar. What an outstanding piece of skill by the Wexford fullback.
There, I think that's one of the best scores I've seen in Croke Park. He came out with the ball, followed it out and picked it up. He looked up, there was nothing on, kept going and after her. What a score by Liam Ryan, inspirational.
Unbelievable start. Hogan drills it low. Not caught by Noel McGrath. Wexford having the better of it at the moment, for sure. Paddy Foley who got the first score. That's come off a tip early, and it's a Wexford line ball. They've made a very good start.
Yeah, their movement absolutely mesmerising at the moment.
So this is Conor McDonald. Decent cut from Conor McDonald, and it's into that space. The space filled by Tawdy Marr. Barry Heffernan out in the half-back line. Niall O'Mara left it after him. O'Mara launching it in long. Wexford have their sweeper back, and they have Matthew O'Hanlon, their joint captain, with another storming catch out the middle. Ryan caught one, O'Hanlon caught one. The big players hurling already for Wexford, and here they come, leading by 3 points to 1. It's Jack O'Connor out to Sean Murphy. Murphy through. Murphy! Oh, it's stopped. Ronan Marr puts it out. I think that was going to nestle in the far corner of the net. We'll never know because Ronan Marr got it away. 65.
Yeah, but I think if Sean Murphy looks at this, he should have went down and hand passed it into Conor McDonald. Look at him on his own inside. Great block by Ronan Marr, to be fair, but he took the wrong option. There's Conor McDonald at the edge of the square, just waiting for the hand pass. And, you know, what a start by Wexford, and you have to take your chances. We saw it with Kilkenny last night. They may rue that one. And I think Tipperary are going to be glad of this break. They've missed a couple of easy first touches here. They're completely shell-shocked by the start and the pace of Wexford.
Okay, so Lee Chin will take the 65. 8 out of 9 on place balls. He was in the Leinster final. They couldn't have hoped for a better start to this game, but an awful long way to go. The roar of Wexford, Wexford, Wexford around Croke Park. The wind is helping Lee Chin. And Chin puts the ball over the bar for a free taker. First one, that's where you want to see it go.
That's it, just a lovely strike, and here we go again. Just look, great block by Ronan Maher, but look at McDonald, clearly there on his own, flicking over, the ball's in the back of the net.
Brian Hogan has been busy, the Tipperary goalkeeper. They're not getting much traction out of that Wexford last defensive line. Here is Barry Heffernan, 4 on his back, Liam McGovern behind him, free in. Jason Ford will get a chance to get his eye in.
Yeah, and that's what Bubbles is good at. He looked up from the sideline, picked out Barry Heffernan, and as we mentioned, you know, he's much more comfortable out there in the wing. Ronan Maher in around the full-back position. Dara, you suggested that before the game to me, that may happen. He's in there, and Cathal Barrett outman Markin, and Barry Heffernan pushing up the field.
So Jason Ford, 2:45 he scored in this year's championship. And another point added to that tally.
And that half-hour line of tips, but that's going to be so crucial because when they're going bad, that line tends to break down. So Niall O'Mara, Bubbles, and Noel McGrath is in the half line with Dan McCormick onto the middle of the field trying to mark D. O'Keefe.
So Tawny Marr is taking up Conor McDonald of Wexford at the moment. This is Seamus Kennedy of Tipperary. Late addition to the published team, Dan McCormick. Beautiful style as he launches it in long. And sweeping behind that clump of players is Kevin Foley of Rapparees. Foley pops it out to Sean Murphy. And that hangs in the air. Well, Wexford did well to get that back. It wasn't a great pass. Too much hand time on the hand pass, and now they come with Kevin Foley. Runners popping up all over the place for Wexford, and Kevin Foley off his left side really should have scored. First wide of the game.
And Jack O'Connor causing absolute mayhem so far with his athleticism, and a lovely touch off the hurl there, and Kevin Foley's going to be very disappointed with that wide.
And that was one of the many points made about, well, what Tipperary needed to do, and tracking the Wexford runners coming out the field is very close to the top of that list, and Foley got through there, nobody with them.
No, they're coming from it. That's a big part of the way Wexford have changed. There's so many men attacking from the back.
Brian Hogan right down the middle, that runs free. Matthew O'Hanlon across for Wexford, he's under pressure, and it's fanning out the ball in the back of the net, goal! Michael Breen, that was a free out. He doesn't think so, Michael Breen.
And we'll see it again here. Just see it breaking inside. Michael Breen is following in behind. You just see there, I didn't see a whole lot there, a little flick, and he kicks it into the net. I think you see Jason Ford, he just tagged him. I don't think he pushed him. Matthew O'Hanlon goes to ground easily. I think that Wexford very lucky there.
Well, the old thing, well, once the hand goes on the back, you're in trouble, and you give the referee a decision to make. He said free. And here's Tawny Marr. What a brilliant sight that is as he drives out of the Tipperary defence. Wouldn't be a great sight for Wexford, but anyway, here's Paul Morris. He will cover every blade of grass. So will this fella, Lee Chin. Shortens the stick and flicks the ball forward. Rory O'Connor took his eye off it. Michael Breen. Paul Barrett. It's a better full back line for Tipperary when he's playing. There's no question or doubt about that. And the shot from Bubbles O'Dwyer is wide. Wasn't much in it. That's their first one.
Interesting to see now if it goes to Hawkeye. Tipperary management. The ref will get it in his ear if it was a point, so obviously wasn't. Sheedy looking for it, but you know, my understanding is if it's over, the referee will get a message in his ear.
That was towards Rory O'Connor. Cathal Barrett wins the Wexford puck out without too much stress. This is Jason Ford. Look up and drills the ball across.
The second.
Niall O'Mara. Wexford don't have as many back as perhaps they could have, and Tipperary want goals, and Seamus Calvin is in around the back. Is this the number 7?
What a goal!
It's a magnificent 7 goals in 7 successive games for Seamus Calvin. Wexford were caught up the field. Tipperary have got their goal.
Yeah, in the last few minutes, Tip coming back into it. Here's Niall O'Mara, a long hand pass. Callan had his mind made up on what a rocket to the corner of the net. We don't see much of that anymore. We see Callan absolutely connected right on the meat, and a brilliant goal. And in fairness to Tipperary, the last 2 or 3 minutes, you know, they've started to win the ball, they've got up to the pace of the game, and as you say, Wexford left a bit exposed at the back, and what better man than Callan to stick another in the net.
Callan's 34th championship goal. Here is the Wexford reply. Lee Chin up towards D. O'Keefe. And O'Keefe, nice sidestep, but he doesn't get past Brendan Marr that easily. Marr just held his ground. Liam Old McGovern blocked down Brendan Marr for Tipperary. The goal, a great boost to them. Tipperary will go for goals whenever they can. Here's Kevin Foley. Wexford man down injured. Foley had to avoid the medic running onto the field, and that's D. O'Keefe, and O'Keefe from way out got 2 in the Leinster final. That one is swiped wide though. That's their second wide. Matthew O'Hanlon down injured.
Yeah, he came out here with a clash with John McGrath. Just came down a bit awkwardly on his ankle, very awkwardly on his ankle.
Well, he's the Wexford joint captain. And he's a colossus for them in that defence. And he's receiving some treatment, and there's some stuff going on off the ball down in front of the Davin stand as Matthew O'Hanlon, his treatment continues. Damien Rex there, Seamus Calvin and John McGrath, and order has been restored. That Tipperary goal, it's the 3rd goal that Wexford have conceded in the championship so far. And the other one, well, one was a penalty, one was a free, and the other one was from play. So 3 goals conceded in their matches so far.
Yeah, and you know, you see already the influence of Kevin Foley on the game, dropping back there. But I think, you know, that was vision again, a crossfield ball, opened them up. Niall O'Mara with good vision, but it was a finish. Like, it was an exceptional finish by Callan. Very little you can do about that. And what a start to the game we've had. You know, we're talking about physicality. He's too fast to be physical. That's a soft yellow card for the two lads that pulling a couple of jerseys up there. But it's been an amazing start. Brilliant setting, fantastic atmosphere, sun shining. This is what it's all about.
And Matthew O'Hanlon is okay to continue. Yellows for John McGrath and Damien Reck. Ronan Marr. Oh, that's a beautiful ball. Get Tipperary going forward again. And that hangs, and it's gone wide. Noel McGrath.
Yeah, and you see what Dan McCormick there knows his job. Just a little pass, got it into the shooter's hand. That one didn't go over, just hit the post.
Shorter puck out from Mark Fanning to Liam Old McGovern. Tipperary with their noses in front. They've been averaging something like, what is it, 223 per game in the championship. Wexford on average conceding around 20 points.
That's what Brendan Maher brings to the Tipperary team. He's on Conor MacDonald there. He's always on, you know, there's no half yard behind his man. He's on him there. Instead of MacDonald getting an easy catch and maybe turning and putting it over the bar, Maher's up on him, and that's what he brings to that athleticism to the half line. I think we'd be better off getting Rory in around the goals.
Niall O'Mara fouled free right down the middle for Jason Ford. Just looking into the Tipperary defence at the moment. Toddy Marr is free. Ronan Marr picking up Conor MacDonald. Brendan Marr picking up Rory O'Connor, and Paul Morris been marked by Cathal Barrett. So Toddy Marr free.
Well, see what they've done here. They brought in Seamus Kennedy and Barry Heffernan. Both of them are 10 wing back. They're two natural wing backs, and they have Ronan Maher and Brendan Maher doing two-man marking jobs. So wherever Conor MacDonald goes, wherever Rory O'Connor goes, the lads are going to go with him, and Cathal Barrett is on him. So this is very, very clever by Sheedy. Brought in two wing backs, knowing who's going to drop the two lads back. But they can travel out the field if they, you know, if Conor MacDonald comes out, Rory comes out, which they do, they'll come with him.
Jason Ford converts the free. In the 14th minute, Tipperary by 2. You'll be happier now, Liam Sheedy.
Wexford's only significant. Matthew O'Hanlon cornerback on Jason Ford.
It's Barry Heffernan. Here's Toddy. That was very nearly perfect, but Toddy Foley is 6'5". To try and chip the ball over him is no mean feat. Paul Morris of Wexford. They haven't scored in 9 minutes. That could change right now. That's a really nice strike from Paul Morris.
Yeah, he broke the tackle well, and a lovely score, but also a very important score, just to stop Tip's period of dominance. And Paul Morris, very skillful player on his day.
Hogan fires it long. Wexford have it though. It's Conor MacDonald playing like a right half back. Rory O'Connor can't find a way through. Tricky one for Simon Donoghue, scoring a point from halfway against Kilkenny in the Leinster final, and he is fouled by Dan McCormick.
And there's the two players we just talked about that were in the full forward line. Rory O'Connor and Conor MacDonald, both of them back there, and the lads still tracking him.
Sean Murphy made a really good run forward. He was picked out. Here's Liam Old McGovern, better from Wexford. They're back in the groove again, and Liam Old McGovern puts the ball between the posts, level.
Ken McGrath did a bit before the game about how Wexford have been mixing up the game, and again there, a quick free, short one, and the runners coming. Sean Murphy moving from the middle of the field in there, and a lovely score by Liam Old McGovern, who was outstanding in the Leinster final as well against Kilkenny.
Brian Hogan, it's his second year in the Tipperary team. He didn't play in the league match in the spring. Neither did Mark Fanning for Wexford. And that's Brendan Marr. Very difficult angle. Perhaps, well, look, if it goes over, it's brilliant. When it goes wide, which that one did, it ain't so good.
Interesting to see him up there under Tipperary struggled to win those balls in the half hour time. Probably the wrong option there.
Lee Chin. Toddy Marr with it. These two will have an epic battle when they come together. Brilliant from Lee Chin, and Chin shot on his way. He deserves a point. The referee, it's a Tipperary free. Point is going to count. Tipperary free.
Yeah, I don't. he was shoved, caught it 3 times. To me, he caught it, he soloed, he threw it over the head and came back down and then put it over the bar. No big argument from Wexford club.
It's very warm down there. Toddy Ma. Doubles, nice little hand-off. It's Noel McGrath for Tipperary. The umpires have a bit of a chat about it. And the white flag goes up at Noel McGrath with the point. Tip by 1.
Well, I think Noel McGrath, I said it during the week, is going to be the crucial man. Here's Lee Chin now. Caught it. Had a second time, and then there's his third time. Good fairness to Sean Clare, good referee.
Toddy Ma shovels it out to Paul Barrett. Time for him to take a spot with the ball forward, but maybe he needed more time, but that is a gift for Kevin Foley. Always looks awful when it breaks down that way. It wasn't his intention. Damien Wreck replaced Shane in the starting team. He missed the Leinster final. Now it's Kevin Foley. He missed one from open play earlier on, Kevin Foley. But this time he makes no mistake. They're going point for point at the minute.
Yeah, that's great. That shows you a great example. Look at it, it's gone again. Damien Wreck. He's gone for could have been thrown into him either. He's acres of space inside. But that movement from their backs, they're all willing to go forward. And, what's that? One for Toddy Foley, one for Damien Wreck, and one for Kevin Foley.
Wexford pushing up on Brian Hogan, so he can't go short with the puck out. Belts it long. There's a big gaping hole right down the middle of the Wexford defence, and there's a foul there. John McGrath ended up on the ground. Sean Murphy was close to this, so it's going to be a Tipperary free.
Yeah, we've seen all Tipperary's puckouts coming down this wing. They're trying to isolate John McGrath. Matthew Hanlon has been on him, who's a big, strong man, but John McGrath got a mismatch there with Lee McGovern and was fouled, dragged to the ground.
So Jason Ford again. This for his third point of the game, third free. Jason Ford with the score.
And interesting for Tipperary so far, giving away no scoreable free. I think it's the movement really of Wexford. They're opening them up and they're not getting close enough to them. But in previous games against Cork in the first round, Patrick Horgan scored 8 frees in the first half alone.
I think they conceded 13 frees against Laois. So that a huge improvement. Here's Conor McDonald. Oh, brilliant. Wonderful skill by Jason Ford, I think it was, who got in there to dispossess Conor McDonald. One artist on another. This is Paul Morris. Now Matthew O'Hanlon is recovered, and look at D. O'Keefe. Tipperary not minding the house of D. O'Keefe with a simple tap over. And Brian Hogan, the Tipperary goalkeeper, and Toddy Ma furious with those further out the field. Brendan O'Keefe gets so free and not be spotted.
Yeah, that's what he does. And really, there was a 3-on-2 there. Could he have taken on his man? Great flick here by Jason Ford back helping out. They had 4 men around that ball and it broke down, and that's where the overlap occurred then when O'Keefe got loose.
Yeah, the first kind of defensive system failure for Tipperary. Here's Niall O'Mara, shoot on side for O'Mara. Perhaps, well, it's easy to say when it goes wide, should have taken it a little bit longer, but he just had a pot.
Well, he should have had loads of time. A quick puck out again.
Dermot O'Keefe from St. Anne's. Damien Wreck with the ball forward. Here's Simon Donoghue has got free again. And Donoghue, the ball popped to him, and Tipperary need to wake up or this could get away from them. Here's Rory O'Connor. Will Wexford get a goal out of this attack? Rory O'Connor! What a stop by Brian Hogan. The ball out, well, it's gone for a point. It's gone for a point, but Tipperary have gone to sleep.
Absolutely opened up. Simon Donoghue up the field again, and Rory sees the gap and he heads for it. Like all good forwards, great shot, and Brian Hogan stands up big and tall and strong, like his father did before him, and he makes a great save. Especially there was a Ronan Maher coming across in front of him, might have impaired his vision for a second. Good save.
Yeah, Ken would have been delighted with that save, but Tipperary,
there's a goal called for the Wexford last, and deserved to be further ahead.
Liam Ryan with the sort of challenge that lifts the team and lifts the supporters, and that challenge, well, the referee may want a word with a Tipperary man, Noel McGrath. It's going to be a yellow for him. It is.
Simon didn't hide the arm around, and Simon left the ref in no doubt. Tipper, the happier team. They're only a point down. They've been overrun for large periods of the first 20 minutes. Or the movement of the game plan for Wexford, absolutely fantastic so far. All of their backs on the overlap. They're not being tracked by a lot of the forwards. The defenders are man marking their men, so they're not sitting back. Yeah. And as a result, the forwards for Tipperary have to work harder and have to get back, and that's where Bonner-Mara has missed so much.
So this is Lee Chin. He's nearer his own 65 than the 45, as you can see. There's a gentle breeze helping. Wexford lead by a point. It's ambitious. It's a good strike from Lee Chin. He's okay for distance. And you know what? The accuracy is pretty special. Lee Chin could have another day like the Leinster final on the freeze if this is anything to go by.
Yeah, that's a fantastic strike. He's playing with so much confidence now, and for a free taker, confidence is so important. His general game very, very strong, and that's a brilliant strike. That's the first free he's gotten from, it must be 100 yards over the ball.
Brian Hogan with a huge took of the ball down the field. Simon Donoghue is on the ground, and the reason for that is because he was fouled. They're playing on, but the referee has blown the whistle. The noise is so great that players couldn't hear it. Those two incidents, Michael, where Sean Murphy early in the half got forward, it wasn't tracked. Simon Donoghue not tracked by his man either. So that's how Wexford are getting those players free. And we thought at Tipperary that all their attackers would do that tracking.
And Tony Marner is back as a sweeper, but he's ineffective. They're not hitting the ball into him. They're just looking for the overlap all the time, and it's very, very clever. Tony Marner has hardly touched the ball yet.
So this sent in long for Brian Hogan. He held on to it. That was the main thing. So they probe again, Tipperary. John McGrath over there, and that's a free in for Tip.
And Sean Kerr, the referee, on the ball so far, I don't think he's made any mistake. Look, you can see here, he just followed through. Harmless enough free, but he kept going, and there was no need, and that will drive Davy mad. Jason Ford with 3 frees. This could be 4. That's keeping Tip in touch, because Wexford are doing the majority of the hurling at this stage. And you mentioned the puckouts. Again, very clever, pushing up, making the puck get long, knowing that Tipperary aren't strong in the air in the half-forward line.
His team lead by 2. Tipperary's Tommy Dunn has been in with instructions for the Tipperary defence, while Jason Ford puts the ball over the bar. So 4 for him out of the tally of 1-6. Mark Fanning again favours the Wexford left. Lee Chin went after that. Paul Morris, both of the big red helmets on. Here is Paul Morris, and Tony Marr got across to him. Morris somehow held onto the ball. Nice little flip to Sean Murphy. He's trapped this time by Bubbles, and Sean Murphy launches it in high. Conor MacDonald! It's in the back of the net! Wexford get their goal. It's been coming. Brian Hogan couldn't stop that one, but Tipperary cut apart. Great work from Paul Morris initially.
Absolutely, that's the new Wexford. No panic on the ball. Nobody going for a stupid score. And look at Sean Murphy. He slips, he sees him over the top. What a pass. And MacDonald absolutely lethal in front of the goals. Low shot and sticks it in the net. And that's what Wexford have deserved that. Brilliant goal.
So Wexford by 4. They could have more than 1 goal. Here come Tipperary with John McGrath. Will he really light up this match? McGrath drills it in. Fanning with the stop, and Kevin Foley got across just as he's supposed to do. The sweeper out for a 65 though. Foley took the ball out over the line.
That's how dangerous John McGrath is. You can't take your eye off this game for a second. He doesn't take points when he gets the ball. Look at this, he loses his man. A great save by Mark Fanning. Came up and hit him into the helmet actually. And Kevin Foley sweeping back has gone out for a 65.
Foley made a brilliant save in the Leinster, and the Leinster final back with him on the helmet as well. It was to deny Colin Fenley. So the 65.
Maturity though about Wexford, they have a plan, they're sticking to their use of the ball, they're hitting no stupid wides. fantastic so far, but Tipperary hanging in there.
And this fella, a big part of that effort. 4 place balls have been scored by Jason Ford. With a bit of a breeze into his face. And Jason Ford with the strike. And but we're going to use Hawkeye to decide. And fair enough, if we have the technology. Tipperary wanted it earlier on in the half. Liam Sheedy was appealing for them to use Hawkeye.
One of the Tipperary team that start forward line has scored from play. That's a goal from Shane Callan, whereas we have Liam McGovern, Conor McDonald, Rory O'Connor, Paul Morris and 4 other players. 8 players scored from play for Wexford so far.
That's good, yeah. From Jason Ford. Goal between them. Shorter one from Mark Fanning, that's from Kevin Foley. It was risky, but Foley was superb. Then changes the angle of the attack. Brendan Marr got out towards it, but couldn't claim possession of the ball. Rory O'Connor was there. Marr did well. Barry Heffernan. Ronan Marr's clearance for tip. Ball broke down. Sean Murphy got across. And that's nicely done by Matthew O'Hanlon. That bit. Here's Barry Heffernan. Heffernan from just outside the 65. He loves that, Barry Heffernan. The umpires aren't so sure, so
he's right under it. Looked to be maybe outside the left post from up here, but the wind is swirling, could drift in.
Heffernan seemed to react after he hit it. Was that annoyance or delight? That's not going to count. It's that virtual bit of the line, so it's wide.
That's a couple of times I think Tipperary, they're not expecting time on the ball because of the way Wexford are playing and they're hitting the ball a bit quickly. He could have carried that another 20 yards and made sure.
So Wexford have loads of players forward. Barry Heffernan picks up the loose ball. Wexford at times more open at the back than you would expect. And that's another one has been hit wide by Tipperary. Noel McGrath has scored 1 point already, but he knew from the moment he hit that Hawkeye umpires wouldn't be bothered.
Yeah, Wexford pushing lots of lads forward, and then if they need to get back in, they're getting back. Their movement is brilliant so far.
This is Rory O'Connor. Well, look, the standard in the first 20 odd minutes or so, we've gone into a bit of a slump now, haven't we? And that's understandable.
I was just going to say, Darren, you're going to have a load. Here's Noel McGrath. And again, Fanning stood up so well. This is what John McGrath loves. He lives for goals, but Fanning really made a great save there.
Simon Donoghue for Wexford, fouled by Seamus Calvin.
See immediately Liam McGovern over the ball, trying to take the quick free. Lee Chin is coming back now. The referee's been very consistent in this. If your body's between the ball and the opposition and you get a nudge, it's a free.
This is practically identical to from where Lee Chin scored not so long ago. What was it, about 7 minutes ago? Forwards in around Brian Hogan's goal should this drop short, but on that earlier effort he was okay for distance and the accuracy.
No problem with the distance. Nice little bit of a breeze. It swirls, I know, in Croke Park, but it is favouring Wexford.
So the strike on its way from Lee Chin, and it goes into the left hand of Brian Hogan. That's outstanding goalkeeping. Brilliant from the tip netminder. Will they get a score out of this attack? Well, that challenge from Kevin Foley, not clever on Dan McCormick. And Tip get on with it straight away. Noel McGrath floats it in. Liam Ryan trying to claim the ball. They're in again. Here's a goal chance. Second goal for Tipperary. No, the referee isn't going to allow it. He's not going to allow the goal. Doesn't count.
I think it's going back for the tide. The ball was over the bar when Brian Hogan caught it, was it? Is that what they're saying?
Must be that.
This is unbelievable.
Okay.
I think this is what they're saying. That Brian Hogan caught the ball over the bar.
It did look, well, it look like a spectacular catch, but we're going back to Hawkeye. So forget the goal. Come back down this end of the field to Hill 16 and we'll see.
But had the play not gone on?
Yeah, well, it is over the bar, and that's what they call it, a score detection system. So that is a massive moment in the game. What a swing, potential swing there would have been. Wexford get the point from the Lee Chin free. No goal down at the other end.
But can you not give the time retrospectively? I don't know. The ball was tucked out, it was back in play, it was an unbelievable goal. The flick from Bubbles on the wire to John McGrath was just out of this world. I don't know, this is going to be very, very controversial.
Yeah, but there'll be a big sense of injustice around Tipperary going in at half-time. Wexford will feel the exact opposite. Matthew Hanlon wins a free out. They won't want the break, but there's a fair bit of agitation down on the Tipperary line. This is it again, Hogan. The graphic on the Hawkeye exaggerated it, obviously, but
yeah, and I mentioned it earlier. The referee
broken that line, the plane of the bar.
Yeah, the referee didn't know that, but he would have got a nod from upstairs to go back. And rightly so at the time.
Okay, yeah. Barry Heffernan of Tipperary. Wexford by 4. Noel McGrath with a giant strike of the ball, and that one has gone over. So Tipperary get a score. Another spectacular one from Noel McGrath. He doesn't score ordinary ones.
No, but I predict during the week he would be trying to float around as the loose man for Tipperary and maybe pick up 4 or 5. But here's the goal. The flick from Bubbles where it was unbelievable, and John McGrath just got the slightest touch. And I'm not sure, has the play gone on? Can he go back and give the point and not allow the play to continue? I'm not sure about that.
Well, Tipperary may not be sure, but there's nothing they can do about it now. They have to play on, and this is Ronan Marr. Wonderful burst forward from Ronan Marr, and he punches the air in delight as the ball sails over. Again, Wexford looked a bit open, they got caught up the field. That's the issue with it.
It is, and Ronan Marr is an absolutely great hurl. Here's Lee Chin now after dragging down Ronan Marr there. Barry Heffernan was it. Great response by Tipperary, I have to say, to get that. They thought they had a goal, they didn't get it, and responded with 2 great points.
So Lee Chin, it's Barry Heffernan beside him. I don't think there's going to be a card for each of them. Yeah, there is.
See it here, just squaring up, not too serious in it. And the referee, that's happened twice. He's taken action straight away on both occasions and been consistent.
Mark Fanning, that was a mistake by Sean Murphy, and now it's Seamus Cowlan, and Cowlan's nailed that one from open play. That is a glorious score from Seamus Cowlan.
Yeah, it shows you the class he has. He hasn't been on the ball. Got one ball, scored a brilliant goal. Next ball he gets over the bar, and he's out at centre half forward. We're looking for a bit more inspiration from that half forward line. Cowlan on the centre forward.
He was at centre forward against Wexford in the league game in the spring, and that worked really well, even though they did lose the match. They had an 8-point lead. Here is Lee Chin of Wexford. Conor McDonald's got in around the back. Now he's been trapped off the ball by Ronan Marr, and there's a free in to Wexford. Lee Chin down on one knee, but the referee didn't like the challenge. Free in coming, second score coming, you would think. 4 additional minutes, by the way.
Yeah, well, the referee is wrong there. He had to stop the game before that foul because the call about it, no helmet. You're not allowed to continue the game if a player has no helmet. He said, I don't know why he didn't have it on. A clear foul there, it is a free, and there's so many talking points. Last night, unbelievable with the finish and everything else, and what a first half we've had here as well.
Yeah, 15 minutes may not be enough, but anyway. Lee Chin is down injured. And I just wonder about...
Well, the problem here is Barrett's helmet was off. The referee had to stop the game. He saw it clearly before the free. Now Barrett then tripped him, so he's probably going to get a yellow card for the trip. Now, was his helmet pulled off? Is this what the linesman is saying? Is there going to be red cards here?
Barrett did end up without the helmet. Jack O'Connor there with him. And we'll just wait to see the colour of the card. Well, it's yellow. So they're mounting up. That's 3 for Wexford, 4 for Tipperary.
So we see Lee Chin coming with the ball here now. Now there's Barrett with no helmet.
Yeah.
So where his helmet came off, we don't know. It was off the ball, but certainly once the referee noticed that, it should have been played they should have been stopped. But anyway, it's a free in. The chin was chipped by the helmetless Barrett.
That's the way it used to be, but not anymore. Where you had the option. Now they're managing that bit for years, and this is Lee Chin. Recovered after his treatment. And Lee Chin sends the ball between the posts. Wexford with a 2-point cushion.
Into the wing.
Wow. Almost down to the Wexford 13-metre line. Liam Ryan driving out. You'll remember his point in the first half forever, you would imagine, but Tony Foley trying to clear it for Wexford, and they've made life difficult for themselves. Here's Seamus Callum, pops it into Bubbles' point. That is what they're capable of. We've seen it over so many days, over so many years.
I think that's the score Liam Sheedy would be most pleased of in this half. The forwards got in the face of the Wexford backs, didn't let them out with the ball, closed them down, and that's what he'd be expecting from them. And look at this, D. O'Keefe on his own, no one near him.
Again, D. O'Keefe finding a huge amount of space. It's tailing, but it held true to its line and over the bar. But O'Keefe causing problems. Those Wexford runners popping up open again.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, you know, just after an inspirational score, leave him completely loose, and that's what he does. His brilliant movement, his move to midfield from half back has been huge in Wexford's, I think, improvement this year.
113, 111. O'Keefe was a very successful Wexford minor, but now he's a very successful Wexford senior. As Jason Ford, he's been doing his stuff from the freeze in that sticky patch earlier on in the first half. He was keeping them in it. Now he gets one from open play. Beautiful flick of the ball here.
Yeah, he's been very good, I think, this year from open play as well. It's not just the freeze. We're talking about confidence. The freeze gave him confidence, but he's doing it in open play. We've seen some great tackling by him as well in the first half. Great score.
Mark Fanning, big booming one down. Toddy Marr doing his job. And now he's improvising a bit, and he's going to be done for holding onto the ball too long. Free in. He should have got rid of that.
Yeah, and this is something he does when he gets one. He generally tries to break through the gap there. Conor McDonald studies around. Did he pull him? Probably. Put the arm around him. So I think, you know, he held him up with his arm. He can't do that, and that's how he stopped his progress. So I think it should have been a free out. But Toddy had loads of time there to hand pass the ball away. He'd loose men on either side.
So Lee Chin should probably be the last puck of the half. A half with a lot of talking points. Brian Hogan catching the ball brilliantly, but it had gone over the crossbar, and Hawkeye determined it was a point, but that was only after Tipperary had a goal disallowed with the ball going back into play. Lee Chin with the free. And with the score. 112. And there is the whistle for the end of a gripping first half. Davy Fitzgerald's Wexford lead Tipperary at the break by 114 to 112. This will go right down to the wire. Joanne and her panel will analyse what we've seen very shortly.
Welcome back. Well, we were wondering what sort of drama we might have in this second semi-final. We have had so much. Wexford on top at half-time by just 2 points, 114 to 112. But there was this massive moment of controversy. Now, Tipperary responded very, very well, but just explain what happened, Ken. Again.
A free from Lee Chin. He said hit the freeze brilliantly. We thought the keeper, tip keeper saved the Hogan. Ball worked up. I think the ball was in on the edge of the square. It all happened so fast, we didn't really know what was going on. Michael Breen, that's Michael Breen's kind of first. I think Michael Breen was his first kind of decent ball there. And we saw just before that, Joanne, Bubbles winning on the edge of the square, and he wanted high balls in on Sean Murphy. He had a bit of dominance over him here, and the ball breaks here. I think he's a great flick onto John McGrath. Brilliant flick and a great finish. But that was only half the story.
Absolutely. If you want to what happened was Sean Cleary gave the free in. Rightly so, Kevin Foley kind of, around Dan McCormack's neck. Somewhere in between that time and when Bubbles flicked on the ball to John McGrath, someone said in his ear, the ball has gone over the bar. And Hawkeye's kind of, not just calling for points on the posts, but it's also over the bar. So he called it back for Hawkeye. Now it incensed the Tipperary crowd in the stadium, and it incensed it. Was his hand back? We can't tell from this, but Hawkeye's obviously bang on though. Yeah. We have to, you know what I mean? Hawkeye's Hawkeye, but it's the length of time, Joanne, would be my...
The length of time is 32 seconds.
Right. Okay, that's a long time in a game.
Well, it is, but we were talking to Brendan Cummins. He's been out there for Hawkeye, and he says on average it takes about 30 seconds. So it is actually the normal amount of time. Yesterday we heard people saying there should be video technology so that the sideline can't happen. What happened at the end of yesterday's game? Now, are you giving out about the fact that Hawkeye has been using technology?
No, not giving out about it at all, because Hawkeye's bang on. It's 100%. We know that. I would have thought the average was 15 seconds on it. Maybe Brendan would know, but I've asked the referee about that before. It varies from Thurles to Croke Park, obviously. We know that, but no, it's just the way it happened, Joanne. It's freaky for us, like, to see something like that.
I never seen that before, and I remember, I think the crowd got more kind of incensed because they didn't know what actually happened. They thought it was a free out from a foul up here. That happened to us in 2006, and Donald Cusack stopped the free from me going over the bar. I love Hawkeye back then when we were on the So look, that's the way it is. Hawkeye is in the game and it's being used.
So you've no objection to the...
I suppose looking back on it, you can't have any objection. That
I thought it was just a bit quicker, but if you're saying 32 seconds is the average, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, well, it's Brendan Cummins' word. So let's have a look at the Seamus Callanan goal, because this was another golden moment.
That's brilliant touch, and as we said it before the game, we knew that goal threat was going to be there with Callanan, and Niall O'Mara is posing loads of problems over on that side of the field. He's got Simon Donoghue under massive pressure, and I feel he got past him a little bit too easily. And look, at first time strike in the back of the net, didn't leave Mark Fannin any chance, but Niall O'Mara is causing havoc at that side. He's taken on Simon Donoghue every time, and Callanan knows that he doesn't probably have the chance to pick it up and just strikes it beautifully. And he's continuing his record, a goal again.
Fourth championship goal.
Yeah.
Now he's gone into all-time third, I think, behind DJ.
Yeah.
And obviously Nicky record will never be caught on 59 goals.
Oh, it's behind Eddie Kerr, actually.
Sorry, Eddie Kerr. He's got a goal, DJ. Sorry, Eddie.
The ball hopped up lovely from there. There was some connection, but it hopped up perfectly just a few off the ground.
Incredible finish. It wasn't the only one, though. We'll be looking at Conor McDonald's goal next. McDonald's goal in the first half, one of the big reasons why Wexford are on top of Tip in this All-Ireland semi-final by 2 points in front of 61,852 spectators here at Croke Park. That goal from McDonald, actually, does it show two particular aspects to do with both of the teams playing today?
I think so, Joanne, because, Wexford, as we said, have gone so kind of pliable now in their play. Sean Murphy has been attacking all the time, and you can see, it's Paul Morris finds him here, and he gets the head up and spots Conor McDonald. Now they deserve the goal and the over. They had great chances going. Brian Hogan has done brilliantly in fairness in goal, but we just see it from the other side. I saw Shane Callanan giving a clear signal to Bubbles to track Sean Murphy because he's going forward at will, and we can pick up Bubbles here now. He just gives him that bit of space. He's sauntering. Murphy is onto it, and like Bubbles, doesn't want to be really right corner back. It's not really a great effort at a block down, and he plays a perfect ball across the balls in the net. And I just think, I saw Shane Callanan saying, track him. And he tracked him, but only half tracked him, if you know what I mean.
And this happened immediately after.
Directly from this, John McGrath got inside the Wexford defence, and he had one thing on his mind, and that was going for goal. And he probably hit it probably a bit directly at Mark Fannin. It was a good save and it went out for a 65. But again, the fine margins of goal chances, and really both teams are threatening at either end.
Very similar to the chance Reedy got last night, I suppose, but it didn't probably strike it.
No, he didn't strike it cleanly.
Yeah, it's still a good save.
Yeah.
It's just important.
And you noticed Wexford system, their famed system, times when it worked and times when it didn't work.
Yeah, look, they're driving forward in droves. 9 different Wexford players scored. It's some feat for a first half. And they're moving forward the whole time, and 1-2, and there's Kevin Foley is up on a 65. He took the ball away from Mark Fannin a second ago there, and there he is getting a score. As I said, he plays as an offensive sweeper, which is great, and it offers him so much more as a team going forward. And Dee O'Keefe here, again, we highlighted before the game. Now, he have oceans of space. I don't know how he's getting that at times. I think he got 2 points in play. Yeah. He's involved in a lot. But I don't know who's picking him up. He has to be picked up. It was obvious what Dee was going to do before the game. That's the way he plays. He runs in mad little pockets, but he finds space the whole time. But 9 different scores in one half of Ireland is fair going.
Even the last walk out, Dee O'Keefe all on his own in front of the hug and stand there right on the touchline. Someone has to take responsibility. It's too dangerous.
See, that can happen at times when you're too preoccupied with different ways or who's on who. You end up losing players. It happened in the Limerick Kelly game last night. For the goal for Shane Downing's goal, he was lost in general play, and he was on his own, So.
Yeah. We did wonder about matchups before. Matthew Hanlon spent most of his time in corner back there.
Yeah, and I suppose we're more accustomed to seeing him in the half-back line, and he's really been dominating it there in the last few games, centre-back, wing-back. But he's comfortable in the full-back line too, but it was probably, Davy and his matchups, and that's something that, you see Sean Murphy's tracking bubbles, you see Matthews in on Jason Ford. It's just intriguing to see all the battles. Brendan Maher is picking up Rory O'Connor. It's all over the field, and it's each player trying to, get an inch on the other side. But the one important thing, Liam Ryan, he got a great point, but his primary purpose is to defend too, and you have to be careful of that too, keeping it tight at the back. Callanan got a great point along the sideline at the end again. It's all well and good going up the field, getting the scores, but we need him back in the backs too.
Massively important scores, 3 points a tip got in a row, got him back into the game, got the crowd back on him as well. It was very important.
Funny enough, that's the key thing, I think. I thought Wexford were comfortably the better team in the first half overall, created more economic with their possessions, the shots and all that. But since the Hawkeye decision, the Tip crowd, they're outnumbered.
You said it nearly.
They've got up behind them, and you can sense the sideline even have lifted, and all the players. There's a bit of more. I'd say that dressing was fairly hot in there.
And yet Wexford though did finish strongly as well, because they responded to that charge from Tip. We saw Lee Chin knock the free over at the end.
Yeah, look, both teams have turned up, and we were worried about Wexford maybe with the 4 weeks of being Leinster champions, how would they handle that pressure? And they started very well and got 3 points on the board. It's a very good game. The physicality in both games the weekend again. I said last year's semi-finals were unbelievably high scoring. These games are so tough and so tight. It's very enjoyable though. I can't wait for the second half.
And I think there's going to be one, if not more, goals in the second half, because both sides are threatening the goals.
And by the way, in relation to that disallowed decision because of what happened with Hawkeye, we've been told officially that it is usually quicker than 30 seconds for them to make that decision and communicated. The issue appears to have been with communication to the referee. It is extremely noisy out there in Croke Park, so maybe that has something to do with it. Anyway, it is very much so all to play for. Wexford 2 points up as we head back to Michael and Dara.
Joanne, thank you very much indeed. No changes to either side for the start of this second half. Wexford by 2. And the game on. And Conor McDonald bending down, trying to get the ball up. I can certainly agree with what Joanne was saying about the noise. It is really, really loud. Difficult to hear yourself think at times. Here goes Bubbles, and Bubbles gets away from Damien Wreck. He's got a free in the end. That's how he lost control of the ball. He is so difficult to dispossess.
Yeah, you watch it here. He just gets in front of him, and Damien Wreck. I think that's harsh enough, Tiny little touch on the shoulder. There must be a lot of it.
So here is Jason Ford. 6 points he got in the first half, and another successful conversion of a free. So now on to 7. And the There was a comment made by somebody in the Wexford camp this week about Liam Sheedy. He didn't come back to play in an All-Ireland semi-final. He came back to play in the final and win it again. Has so much faith in the more senior guard, the players he had success with in 2010. And here's Bubbles. And that is a beautiful effort from John O'Dwyer. What a stunning score. The side's level for the 5th time. This worth another look.
Yeah, what a catch. Brilliant. See, this is Noel McGrath. When he gets a chance to look up, he picked them out. And just a little feint off his left, turned on his right and over the bar. John McGrath on the full forward, Callan at centre forward, Bubbles in the corner now. They're looking for that mismatch with Damien Reckon. That's a good start to the second half by Bubbles.
And that is a good start to the second half for Ronan Mars. He puts the ball out of play. Sideline cut to come for the Leinster champions.
Yeah, Conor McDonald, another one of the top exponents at the line ball. We have so many of them in the game, but you see a change lately. They're not going for that. They're going for the quick one. Here we are.
Now, McDonald has scored 2 sidelines in the championship in 2019. He'll have to wait for an opportunity for number 3, Liam McGovern. Whatever wins out there is with Tipperary in the second half. But here's Conor McDonald, could have taken on the sideline. They've worked it to him from open play, and Conor McDonald adds to his first half goal.
But that's what I talked about in the first half, the maturity of this Wexford team. You know, in the past they would have panicked or someone would have hit a ball in aimlessly, but they worked it into Conor McDonald's hands at a great point.
They believe, but so did Tipperary. What's going to give? No way past Jack O'Connor for Tony Marr.
Tony Marr looking up and look at Jack O'Connor, eyes on the ball all the way, great block down.
So, the cut by Noel McGrath. Dee O'Keefe heard the shout from Sean Murphy, but Tipperary have it with Dan McCormick. Wexford man has lost the stick. Here's Noel McGrath. Nice little tuck back in to Bubbles. Oh, and that's a high challenge, and the referee is going to want a word with Sean Murphy.
Yeah, just consistent. That should be a yellow. No, he's not going through.
Oh, okay.
Can you watch here? Yeah, we saw a yellow in the first half for a similar tackle over the far side of the field, so I think that should have been in the book, but chasing forward with a chance.
3 Wexford players have been booked, 4 Tipperary men. And Jason Ford, Wexford can't give away any soft frees, and really for, well, 100 metres out is a soft free with Jason Ford's on that.
Yeah,
sort of form.
Strike, he's in great form, and Tipperary now level after a few minutes of the second half and dominating so far.
Mark Fanning right down the middle, and that is a brilliant catch. Absolutely stunning from Ronan Marr. Michael Breen, off he goes. And Breen from 68 metres away has scored. Blistering start to the second half for Tipperary. Michael Breen.
You can nearly hear the roar from here of Ronan Marr there. Thought he just got out of the way. Ronan came charging out up. Took a nice few steps before he got rid of it. Michael Breen can do this. And that this breeze we talked about in the first half, it gives you that confidence to shoot from distance. And Breen is a man that can score, you know, when he gets on a run, can score a few points from play and a half.
Picture tells 1,000 words. Ronan Marr is down injured, and there's another one. That's 2,000 words. That one's worth. Jack O'Connor is down injured, the Wexford man. Ronan Marr's okay, but Tipperary have made a big start to the second half. They got 4 out of the 5 points scored.
Yeah, and you know, Ronan Marr, he's brilliant in the air. We saw it in 16 when they won the final. He was only 19, maybe just touching 20 in that final, and it gave an exhibition at centre back. But you see Parry keeping out of the way there. He heard the roar from Ronan, and then he comes, 2 brothers. Communication good in that occasion.
Sometimes it's not that case, but it worked beautifully there.
I mean, I said how to feed them when they were grown up, so it's a big job for them.
Liam McGovern of Wexford. There was a slip by Seamus Callan, and McGovern just gets rid of it. And it's come out to Paul Morris of Wexford. He has to go back to Jack O'Connor. He's recovered from his injury. O'Connor took that on very quickly and had a little bit more time than he imagined, but it's wide. 4 wides for Wexford.
Yeah, that's a bad wide. You know, good maturity again by Wexford there. Taking the short took out, they'd lost the previous long one, worked it up the field, and Paul Morris fed a lovely ball to Jack. He should have stuck it away.
Norman, second possession in the space of about 60 seconds. He can go left or right or keep going straight ahead. He's going straight ahead, but flicks the ball out towards Jack O'Connor. Now Conor McDonald, he's surrounded by Tipperary defenders. Hasn't got the ball anymore, and Roland Marr coming up trumps again. He's having a stormer. Tordy Marr lost control of the ball. Leached in, got on the end of it. Now it's Rory O'Connor. Tall Morris. Just inside the Tipperary 65-metre line. Tall Morris wide. No need for technology there.
Yeah, and a little bit of anxiousness creeping in very early in the second half. You know, Paddy Maher dropping that ball, Paul Morris, Jack O'Connor with two good chances, and you know, they were scoring them in the first half, Wexford. So I think both teams, you know, want to take a deep breath now and settle down. And Bubbles had been a key man so far in the second half. You know, they've isolated him inside the full forward line, and he's won a free and scored a point and doing very well.
Brian Hogan, Wind assisting. Bubbles puts the left hand up after it. Kevin Foley doing his stuff. Here's D. O'Keefe. Paul Morris into the corner. He just about keeps it in play. Lovely stick work from Paul Morris. And Conor McDonald is waiting inside. Morris may take it on himself. Morris just got under that, but it's a lovely finish from Paul Morris. Beautiful ball forward by D. O'Keefe. Foley started it. 1:16 each.
Well, look at his little flick here. Look at his confidence. This man is full of skill. Great ball by D. O'Keefe, as you say, and then come back out just after missing one off. He tried. Look at the way he curled that in. He drew it in around over the crossbar.
See that Davy thinks it's a Wexford ball, but we have clear signal that it's a Tipperary line ball.
Colin Lane's holding his ground there, looks cool enough, not bothered by Davy.
Now I wonder, Jason Ford. Jason Ford. Wexford weren't quick enough to close him down. That one has just drifted wide. Wide number 7.
Now Lamar's down, the ball hit him right smack there into the stomach from the line ball from Jason Ford. He mishit it, but he still hit it well enough, and he's winded.
Jack O'Connor chasing this down as Mark Fanning. To be precise, he very nearly got the man running onto it, Jack O'Connor. When it hits full speed, it's breathless stuff, and I suppose it's only natural that it just kind of dips down a little from time to time.
Yeah, and the nerves are kicking in a bit too. Like the big prize here, you're going to be in an All-Ireland final, you're going to be out of the championship.
Leach in hasn't been as prominent for Wexford at the start of the second. He's doing a lot of work off the ball. Tipperary starting to drive. Barry Heffernan got them going. Tawny Marr floats the ball in. There was a nice little move from John McGrath to shift his marker away from it. Mark Fanning out to Kevin Foley, right where he should be. Seamus Conlon pulled him back, did he? Referee says no. Foley ended up on the ground. Tipperary play on. Now the referee, it's Damien Reck who's gone down, and there was an awkward looking toll there.
To be fair to David Reck, he got straight up, but that's a strike. Short.
Yellow. And John McGrath is gone. His second yellow. So, Tipperary down to 14. Oh dear, oh dear.
You see he's on the ground here and he swings across him, and it's a straight red really. He's striking, you know, he's struck across him coming out. And he knows himself, he looks straight at the ref, putting up your hands. And it's going to be devastated coming off in such a tight game, getting a stupid card like that.
Tipperary down to 14 players.
I think Wexford should have had a free out, you know, from Shane McCallum.
I thought it was a free.
They had a free out and the play, you know, it just shows you the way it works. They got away with the free, and John McGrath ends up getting the line.
Tip and a man sent off in the league game as well. As Wexford attack, is there a penalty in there? There was a really tricky looking challenge on one of the Wexford players. He seemed to be upended. The referee had a perfect view of it. Clears the ball forward and Liam Ryan surges out. He left Bubbles who he was marking. Now it's Rory O'Connor. Wexford with numerical advantage. And Rory O'Connor loves this. It's gone between the posts. Big swing of momentum towards Wexford.
Absolutely, and a great ball up by Liam Ryan and Rory O'Connor, just effortlessly. But here's the ball. I think Conor McDonald was inside. He wins the ball.
It's a penalty. But Ronan Marr.
Very like the incident last night where the penalty was given.
So Tipperary with their backs to the wall. A point down, a man down. Still loads of time. Barry Heffernan. Well, Barry Heffernan drops this one in. Oh, and it's come through to Mark Fanning. Out to Liam McGovern of Wexford. Oh, this is up for Conor McDonald having a titanic tussle with Ronan Marr. Free out.
Watch this again now. There's Conor McDonald, gets his body very good in the air, the arm is across, doesn't get possession. And you know, it's really hard to say. He goes to ground, but it didn't look like it was a clear pull down. It would have been a very, very hard penalty to give.
Tony Foley for Wexford. Jack O'Connor. O'Connor right down the middle, and that's gone over the bar. Another brilliant score from distance. The confidence is there, the belief and the skill. They lead by 2.
There's 10 different scorers for Wexford now, which is incredible. I think the way Wexford play, you know, sometimes when a man is sent off, it can lift the opposition, but the way Wexford play, this running game, you know, with everybody having this extra man on top of that now is going to make them very, very hard to contain.
And they're winning big individual battles over the field, minute by minute. So this is a huge test for Liam Sheedy. His second coming as Tipperary manager, as we said earlier. He didn't come here to win or be in All-Ireland semi-finals. He came back to win the biggest prize of all. And they're going to have to dig really, really deep after all that brilliant hurling they played in the round-robin phase in Munster. In the final, the wheels came off. They weren't great against Laois, but you have to credit Laois in the way they played. Sean Murphy puts it into Lee Chin. Here he is. Chin can go left or right or back himself. Lee Chin, goal! Are they on their way to the All-Ireland final? Lee Chin, 218 to 116. Their lead grows. There's an awful long way to go. This is huge.
And straight up the middle he went. He looked left, he looked right. A low ball. Daisy cutter off the ground, took the bounce. Brian Hogan might be a little bit disappointed, but it's low and very, very hard to save in under his hurl. And beautiful interplay again, off the shoulder, realisation of where the extra man was, where the space is, and this is Wexford now flying.
Liam Ryan went flying after that ball and he missed it, and Bubbles O'Dwyer with the chance to respond straight away. He's put it wide though.
That's a very easy chance for him.
Well, another look at the goal.
You see John McGrath devastated on the line. But it opened up and you know, Ronan Marr just ran across the ball, but a little bit of a breather there now. But as I was saying a few minutes ago, with Wexford, with this movement, with this fitness level and players coming off the shoulder, 15 against 14, with Tip with some aging legs out there, it's going to be very, very hard to contain enough for the rest of the game, and they're in some position with 20 to go.
Well, Tipperary, if they do want to freshen it up, there's a lot of legs on the bench and a lot of young talent. Jake Morris, we know what he did for the 20s the other night. Robert Byrne has seen game time. Jerome Cahill.
Yeah, I think the issue with the young Tipperary players is they haven't been in the senior talent that long.
That's true, yeah.
Take the likes of Rory O'Connor, he's been in there since he was 17, he has the strength, conditioning done, and with the physicality that out there, it'll be hard for any of those young players, and Wexford in a great position.
Paul Morris trying to improve their position. Liam McGovern, all his injury, heartache. Back to Paul Morris again. He didn't catch that properly. Brian Hogan has it in his left hand. Tony Marr, all his years of experience will have to be brought to bear from this point on. And Wexford's defensive system has had a meltdown as Seamus Calnan drives forward. Calnan with the score. There's still a lot of hurling to be played and a lot of time left.
Yeah, as we know, hurling again can can change a game very, very quickly. Surprising that Seamus Callan left that loose with the extra men on the Wexford team, and Tony Maher take them out good score.
Now here it is, the first change. Willie Connors wearing number 20. Dan McCormick has gone off, and Wexford have brought Aidan Nolan in. Scored the winning point in the league game in the spring. Sean Murphy off.
Yeah, this guy's a massive impact. So he missed the Leinster final. He was sent off for arguing with the ref after the drawn match. He didn't realise maybe where Wexford were at the Leinster final. He was arguing over the time, and he's back, and he's a big impact sub on his day. He's normally very good.
Brendan Maher and Tipperary with another scoring opportunity, and Jason Ford is keeping that scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah,
three between them.
Yeah, and this can happen. Wexford just taking the foot off the pedal a little bit, leaving it to somebody else. You know, we've an extra man here, an extra man here. I leave it to him, and nobody took responsibility there. And in lips, Jason Ford was having a fine game.
It certainly is. A goal between them. Tipperary getting ready to bring Ger Brown in. Stuck in straight away. There's Lee Chin. Chin brilliantly blocked down. That was Noel McGrath with the block. Chin recycles it back. Damien Reck from way out the field, and that one's wide.
Yeah, that's one of the few silly wides that Wexford have. I think their discipline in possession has been absolutely brilliant today. The way that maybe I'll take the half to no, I won't. I'll look up, I'll give the hand pass to somebody else, and wait till the score is on, and that's a bad wide.
Ronan Maher switching it over towards the far side. Niall O'Shea was in there. That is Willie Connors, and this is Bubbles O'Dwyer, and that's a point.
And this is massively impressive by Tipperary. They looked in big trouble. They were 5 down, and Willie Connors is full of running. He's a strong man, picks out Bubbles, and Sean Murphy now down with a bit of cramp, and there's still a long way to go. That's a great response by Tipperary.
And that's 3 points in a row.
So
three with them with line.
Callan, Ford, and Bubbles.
Yeah.
20 steps.
From Aidan Nolan. Well, after the Leachian goal with John McGrath seeing the line after 2 yellow cards, it was a big momentum shift towards the Leinster champions. There's Ger Brown, and it's Michael Breen has gone off. Brown is in wearing 17.
He was captain of the 21 team after the Monday Ireland, and had a very good game against Leisure, scored a couple of very good points, and interesting to see now what impact he can make.
In Tipperary, they haven't seen a huge scoring impact from their substitutes in their championship game. Something like 4 points have come from the bench. Today is the day to change that from a Tipperary perspective, and they have done pretty much everything right since John McGrath saw the line and since the Leachian goal. 2 points between them. As it was at half-time, Rory O'Connor trying to get through it. That wasn't really there. Here is Brendan Maher. Speaking of experience, speaking of class, quality, ditto with Bubbles off the left side. That's a big ball forward, and the referee's going to give a free in. It's a Tipperary free. A foul on Jason Ford by Matthew O'Hanlon.
Yeah, and I don't think we would have seen that free given earlier. I think this is what happens sometimes. Subconsciously, the ref sends off a man. It was right to send him off, but they give a few frees, and I think that was very soft compared to what wasn't given earlier. Tipperary looking to get that one.
Those 3 unanswered points, all from play.
I'd advise Wexford to get a few more back in the line here, because this man came last one. He'll probably stick it over in circumstances.
Or really put the seed of doubt in Mark Fenning's mind for later and others, but that has gone over the bar. So puts down to the bare minimum.
And that's massively impressive by Tipperary. And we've seen it so many times. I thought it wouldn't suit Tip today, because I thought Wexford the way to run it, but Wexford have gone right back into their shell since they got the extra man, and Tipperary have kicked on and seems to get loads more time on the ball now. And I think it's totally down to players not taking responsibility and not knowing their job.
Now, Dee O'Keefe is in bother at the moment. Noel McGrath's not happy with him. Mark Keogh, by the way, has come on for Tipperary, replacing Niall O'Mara. So why is D. O'Keefe down? Just a point between them. This is it.
Yeah, you got
Barry Heffernan,
a punch in the stomach there from Barry Heffernan.
who's on a yellow card.
Yeah, if the ref saw that, it's another yellow.
It doesn't appear that he did.
He didn't see it, and Barry Heffernan looking.
Well, Colin Lyons is just going to run in to, or is he, to communicate with Sean Clearwood? No, they. Sideline official was going to go in. Yeah, the fourth official was going to go in, but he's decided not to.
I don't think it's within his remit, and
so Joe O'Connor is nearly on the end of that bit. Number 20 for Wexford, the substitute. Here come Tipperary, Noel McGrath, and now Barry Heffernan. Heffernan was involved in that incident with D. O'Keefe. They're in around the back. This is huge, and it's gone over for a point. Shouldn't have been a goal. There was a free man in there. It was Jared Brown.
absolutely flying down the middle. What a piece of play. Heffernan, great offload to Jared Brown, and a little bit more experience. He should have stuck it in the net, and as I said earlier, what a response by Tipperary. There was a man inside, but I think his momentum, he had to hit it on the run, and really should have kept it low. Great goal chance there.
Where are we heading with this? Because the sides have been level 8 times. It swings one way, then the other. Jack O'Connor, really strong left hand, dispossessed them. Here's Brendan Morris, spins away from the challenges. Wexford not happy with it. It feels totally different now. It feels like it's swinging very definitely Tipperary's way. Wexford's last score was the Lee Chin goal. Tipperary have got 5 since then.
What a catch, first of all, by Jack O'Connor. But since that sending off, I think you've seen the Mahers, you've seen Cathal Barrett, you've seen Noel McGrath, Shane Callanan, Bubbles, Jason Ford. All their big men have upped their game, and Wexford had gone completely out of the game, gone into their shell, and they're now looking for their leaders. Who are the Wexford leaders that's going to stop this momentum that Tipperary have?
And Jason Ford can put Tipperary in front. Ford, no, that didn't work out for him. That's a bit of a let-off for Wexford. Here's Matthew O'Hanlon. Speaking of leaders in their team, well, he is very definitely one of them. Another one is Lee Chin. That ball has gone over his head. Paul Morris there. The Leinster champions look to be in the box seat after the 49th minute when Lee Chin's goal against 14-man Tipperary seemed to swing it their way. And Tipperary have got the last 5 points without reply.
And that's a free into Wexford. That's a clear hand in the back by Cathal Barrett. I think Tipperary have got away with 2 or 3 fouls since they sent it off, and that's a clear foul to me. And I thought the linesman had indicated a Wexford ball. Everything going with Tip at the moment.
Seamus Calvin couldn't make contact with that. Liam Ryan is across for Wexford. 10 minutes since Wexford last scored, and this is risky for Mark Fanning. No bother to him. And here they come with David Dunn, one of the substitutes. Tipperary's turn to look a bit open. Referee playing an advantage. Paul Morris has got Conor McDonald free. It's into McDonald. Goal!
In the square.
Or is it a square ball? No, they've given the goal. The green flag goes up, although, hang on, the referee looked to be walking in towards the umpire. He signalled the goal with the flag. They're not going to allow it.
I think he was in the square. They're going to get a replay. The ref doesn't get a replay. It's up to the officials. I haven't seen the replay yet either. But is he saying he moved in? They're going to give it?
What is...
His umpire is indicating after the ball. He's telling him to give it. And this is where technology is. There's somebody upstairs.
Give us a signal.
Give us a signal, but we don't have it.
What is... We'll watch the referee while you watch this.
Yeah, no.
Are they going to give the goal? They have given the goal. It's been given. I just wonder what the delay was. Why referee Sean Clear, who went in to speak to the umpires, then stopped. Is this a goal for you?
Yeah. When he struck the ball, he was outside the square, but he snapped in. But it looked fine. I think he was conscious of the square, and it happens in real time. That's surely massive now for the game, the overall context.
Another twist. Conor McDonald's goal. We've got 9 minutes left. Here they come again. Conor McDonald. McDonald didn't even look at the post. He knew instinctively where they were, but he should have had a glance because he put that wide. Brian Hogan and the umpire on the near side. It was like as if the umpire was marking the goalkeeper. He had to get out of the way. Wexford lead by 3. Dee O'Keefe. Wexford's last 2 scores, goals from Conor McDonald and then Leach in before it. It's been mostly Tipperary since then. Here's Noel McGrath. He comes up with the shot, and Noel McGrath's point. He comes up with big moments, doesn't he?
He does indeed, and another great score. Just looking around there, some of the tip lads, a lovely ball bounced into his hand there, and great shot over the bar. Just looking at Brendan Maher, they looked a bit weary out there, and extra man for that long, it's going to be hard for him to hold up, but they have really come good since that sending off.
And Wexford, well, all the talk about them being one of the fittest teams in the country. They've freshened things up in the last while with replacements coming off the suspect. Simon Donoghue bashing the ball into the ground. Here is Paul Morris. He looks really lively. Not his best pass though. Aidan Nolan got across. No foul. Tipperary have got it back. Here they come. Willie Connors losing it. Everything on the line for both teams. Rory O'Connor. And O'Connor's lost the ball. Barry Heffernan was calling for that. His weary minds and legs out there and arms and the whole lot at this stage of Simon Donoghue just swung at that. Tipperary have got it back. Doubles O'Dwyer off his left side. He puts the right hand in the air because it sailed wide. He thought it was over. He was convinced it was over. 9 wide.
And what a passage of play. We saw some heavy tackles going in. Great work rate by both sides. Breaks out the bubbles. He allowed for the wind. He thought it and curled it in. That light silver, sometimes when you hit it well, it doesn't budge, and it stayed right outside the post.
Mark Fanning again. Belting it long. Conor McDonald will compete in the air. Just one-on-one with Ronan Marr, who has gone in at fullback. Marr up towards Noel McGrath. He had too much time, and Wexford gave him too much time. And Noel McGrath comes up with another huge moment and another huge score. One between them.
There'll be no one more disappointed than Noel McGrath that his brother has gone off the field, but what a reaction by him. He has been absolutely brilliant. That's 4 from the... Here's the goal again. Here's the ball hit now. Just watch. There's the edge of the square. He's in the square before the ball. He wasn't in the square when Paul Morris hit him. He was in my first instinct was he was in the square before the ball, and that seems to back it up. And but the umpire on the goal side was very adamant that he wasn't, and the referee obviously not able to see that and make that call. So another big call by the officials.
Well, we had that chat yesterday, sure, with Kevin McStay on RT Radio 1 about using technology amongst other things. He was talking about it in relation to Gaelic football.
Well, I think after this weekend there'll be the phantom goal last with Austin Gleeson, and there's too many of them going on now. With the pace of the game, very hard for the officials.
I thought you were going to do the Star Wars thing with the Phantom Menace, but that seems like a long time ago. We're in the middle and coming towards the end of a gripping encounter as Mark Keogh belts it from way in the field. 9 times level. That is a stunning score from Mark Keogh. The impact off the bench is there.
But this has been epic by both teams. For the game of hurling, Wexford looked twice that they had the game won. 5 up with the sending off. Back come Tipperary, get another goal. Looked like Tipper gone, and Tip come back again. And what a finish we're in for now.
Alan Flynn is on for Barry Heffernan. Heffernan, remember, had that yellow card. They can't afford to lose another player. Tipperary. John McGrath sent off. It seemed to be Wexford Day. Wexford's Day not long after when Leach in got his goal. But Tipperary have shown their class, their experience, their quality, their skill to get back on level terms. It seemed to be Wexford's to win, but now it's Seamus Calnan for Tipperary. The goal-scoring maestro hopped off Tony Foley. Callan's gone down injured. He seems to be hurt. It's a free out to Wexford. Inside the last 5 minutes, you cannot take your eyes off this.
But what a hit here. Tony Foley, shoulder to shoulder, nothing wrong with it. Great hit. I don't know the context of it again. Just watch it here. Have Seamus Callan down over the ball, and out comes Tony Foley. Callan turns into him, shoulder to shoulder, nothing wrong with that. But I think then Simon Donoghue got a soft enough free, in the context of the game. And, as I said a few times, difficult on the referee, but this is a big one now. Mark Fanning, it's into the breeze, but he's a big striker of the ball.
Who will it be for Brian Cody's team in the final in 3 weeks' time? Wexford's last 2 scores, both goals. One in the 49th minute. The other one, what was it, 61 minutes. Fanning with the strike. We don't need to go to Hawkeye there. Brian Hogan with another big catch for Tipperary. Liam McGovern of Wexford just didn't get hold of the task there, but it's broken down. Tipperary trying to be too fancy. Lee Chin will go for the jugular. What a brilliant piece of skill. Was it Cathal Barrett who got the hurl in somehow to take it away from Lee Chin? 14-man Tipperary come again. Alan Flynn, the substitute, snatched at that a bit. Still could be very dangerous, so it's come through to Wexford's Mark Fanning. And that is going to be a free out.
The wrong man got it, Alan Flynn. What defending there by Tipperary. Lee Chin went through the gap. Toddy Maher coming back here. Cathal Barrett came across, got the flick to it. Brilliant play. And it's going to come down there to somebody making a mistake. Here's Jake Myers coming as well. Tipperary using their bench fully today. We talked about it during the year. Maybe they didn't have to, but they're working today.
You saw that goal they scored against Cork in the under-20s the other night. Bubbles O'Dwyer is the Tipperary player to make way. Inside the last 3 minutes.
Here's Mark Fanning here coming out with the ball. And Callan coming in a high one again, that arm up. You know, the GA brought out a very clear guideline this year. High tackles were red cards. And I've after seen 5 or 6 or 7 over the last 3 or 4 matches. And some are yellow, some are yellows. No one's getting a red for it. And either make it a yellow or make it not. But don't say it's a red and it's not been implemented.
Mark Fanning launches it forward. Lee Chin couldn't hang on to it. It's like Conor McDonald. Somehow he was dispossessed. Toddy Maher, the great man from Thurles Sarsfields, but he's playing a lot of hurling with it in a dangerous area. But sure, why not when you can do that? He hops off Paul Morris and he's held onto it too long. It's a free in. A gift for Wexford coming up. Toddy Maher did this in the first half. We know it's kind of his trademark. I'll back myself and play out, but get rid of the ball.
I don't think he overcarried that. He lost it, he got it back up in his hand. He was trying to play on all the time. He hand passed it out. And I think that's a massive call by the referee so late in such a tight game.
So much at stake. Lee Chin 5 from 5 from place balls.
And having said that, it's the first free the Wexford have gotten an awful long time. I said since the sending off, have we seen Wexford getting a scoreable free?
This one is very definitely scoreable. Liam Sheedy, his team, have battled brilliantly since going down to 14 players when John McGrath was sent off. Even Lee Chin needs a bit of a breather. The sides have been level a total of 9 times. Edge in front. We're in the last minute of the 70. How much will the referee add on? You would think at least 4. Cathal Barrett off the short tuck in. Tipperary, their energy, and well, they were described as flat at times, certainly in the Munster final and at times against Laois. They have been anything but flat here. Neither has Toddy Foley. He's come up with some huge moments for his team. Matthew O'Hanlon. Wexford lead by a point, but they've lost concentration, and now it's come out to Willie Connors of Tipperary. And they've been level a perfect 10 times. Willie Connors.
And brilliant capture by Toddy Foley to start. And look at that, Jake Morris was free inside and he missed it. He's in the back of the net. And Willie Connors has made a big impact like all the tips off. It's a great score.
Michael, 6 minutes added on. That's an eternity in a match like this. Jason Ford with the ball in. Fanning thought about coming out for it. Tipperary man down, and here's a goal chance. Goal for Tipperary. It's Jake Morris. No, the referee's given the penalty. He's given the penalty. Goal will not stand. We're going to go back for a penalty. Liam Sheedy is livid. Jason Ford, I would imagine, will take the penalty. He scored one and missed one in 2019. The ball was in the back of the net. The referee's role into question again. We're going to have a tip penalty.
Yeah, silly by Liam Ryan, arm around the shoulder. But we have an advantage rule for a reason. You know, give it a few seconds, see what develops. The referee had blown the whistle. He can't do anything about that now. there's so many talking points out in this game. I'm dizzy at the moment with it, but it's will it be Callan now or will it, or it's just a free?
It's just a free. The referee, as you look at this again, the referee, after the ball went into the back of the net, he put his arms out by his side to signal penalty.
Yeah, he signalled penalty. Now he's gone in. Has he gone in to check?
So what do you do if you're Jason Ford? It is not a penalty. Mark Fanning has help back there, and Jason Ford just taps it over. Fair enough. Tipperary lead by 1. It could so easily have been 3. Perhaps it should be a 3-point lead.
I think it should be. The advantage rule is brought in for that reason. Give it a couple of seconds, see how it develops. You can always blow the whistle and give the free. Put your arm in the air. That's the way it's supposed to be, referee. That's a foul on the ball now as well. And he threw it up and brought it back onto the hurl again.
They could be writing books about this match for years to come. Certainly there's a movie in it. It has been astonishing. Seamus Kennedy. Big clearance. Tipperary lead by a point. Will it be Kilkenny? Seamus Callan. He's got a goal chance, and that has gone over the bar. No, it's gone out for a 65. That was really tight. Callan pulled the trigger, and it was deflected away. Was it by Liam Ryan?
It shows you the instinct of this man. Head straight for the goals again.
No. The sweeper, Kevin Foley.
That shows you the importance of him. They're getting back. Great block. Great interception by Kevin Foley.
Because Mark Fanning's a superb goalkeeper, but Callan in that position, at that range, more often than not it's a goal. His team have battled brilliantly. Liam Sheedy.
Maybe stick it over the bar, but if Ford scores this, I'll be forgiven, but he missed the last one from the same distance.
Okay, so for the 65, and from the 65, still loads of time left. Jason Ford, big tuck for him, and he's come up with the goods. Equal to the pressure for sure, Jason Ford. That's the last 3 in a row for Tipperary.
They had a big call putting him in the freeze this year, and he's really responded. What a game he's having.
Tipperary by 2. Wexford need a goal. Liam O'Byrne trying to get in around the back to get it, but Carl Barrett is there. Barrett has given it to Lee Chin. It's very congested there, and a free in. It'll be a Wexford free. And Wexford will want to take it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what Barrett brings to that full-back line. Brilliant sweeping first of all, but he tried to burst out with it. Maybe if he turned back and just a little hand pass to Brian Hogan, there was a better option, because Wexford had defended that brilliantly, but the tip forwards are trying to run out through them.
Tipperary have really come good in the last 10 minutes. 6 out of the last 7 points they've scored. This will be 6 out of 8, and the 2 Wexford points, this is the second of them, both Lee Chin frees. So a point between them. A point between them, and less than 2 minutes to go. Big tuck out from Brian Hogan.
Yeah, Tip hit the 35 mark again, but look at Wexford, just one behind.
Could we have extra time?
What a catch.
Brilliant from Liam Ryan. Absolutely outstanding. Wexford a point down. Aidan Nolan. And Nolan launches it in towards Lee Chin. With Ronan Marr. Chin was holding onto the stick, was he? And the referee is given a free out. The referee is given Tipperary a free. It'll relieve the pressure, and even that little delay afterwards, well, that helps Tipperary's cause. Their last 3 All-Ireland semi-finals settled by a point, Tipperary. They lost by a point in 15 and 17 to Galway. Beat Galway by a point in 16. They lead by a point here.
Yeah, you see Brendan Martin's experience again. He just left the hurling there in order to have to give the free. What a game of hurling.
And what a job done by Liam Sheedy. All sorts of things called into question, doubts about his team. It's not over yet. Wexford, will they get one more chance? But Tipperary in no rush at all to take the free, with 30 seconds to go. Brian Hogan, as far away as possible. People want to get this ball down the field. Wexford need it back quickly, and there's an opportunity for Jake Morris, and that could very well be it. Morris could have had a goal, but the referee called him back. He's a huge talent. He's had some week, and is that the insurance? They lead by 2.
That is some point at this stage of the game to have the confidence, stick it over the bar. Wexford need a goal there from this play.
They need a goal, one last play, and they're not going to get it. Tipperary with Willie Connors. They've gone point for point, toe for toe, or toe to toe all the way through the second half. But Tipperary did it with a man less for the majority of the second half when John McGrath was sent off for 2 yellow cards. Mark Fanning gets the ball back in play. The 6 minutes are gone. Referee hasn't had a look at the watch. Is he going to blow the full-time whistle? Wexford need the ball back as quickly as possible. It is all over. It is all over. And in 3 weeks' time, we are going to have Cody against Sheedy, Kilkenny against Tipperary. The third meeting of the two. You think of the epic battles they had over the years. Well, Sheedy and Cody will be back again. Wexford did all they could. When McGrath was sent off, they got the big goal with Leachy. It looked to be theirs from that point. But Tipperary from somewhere found the energy, found the skill, the desire, and they're into the final.
An incredible win, Darren, that's all I can say. What a performance by Wexford. They're crestfallen. David Fitzgerald and the team, they've given everything. To score 320 and not to win is unbelievable. But the heart, that man there, Liam Sheedy, in our picture, there's something about him. He's able to drive on players. They looked in big trouble. They used their bench. They emptied it. Look at the difference they made. Ger Brown a point, Willie Connors a point, Mark Keogh a point, and Jake Myers 1-1. 1-4 from the bench when they were in big trouble. And the key man came to the fore, and Wexford are crestfallen. But what a win for Tipperary, and we have Kilkenny.
They haven't gone away. They're back in the Ireland final. Yeah, the impact from the bench, Michael. We spoke about, the previous games. They hadn't seen that one. My word, they saw it today.
But it's clearly as if he was waiting for today to spring the bench, and they looked in big trouble. As I said, five down, John McGrath sent off, and you'd say with Wexford with the extra man, with their athleticism, with everything, they're going to pull away. And the key men came to the fore. Brilliant comeback by Tipperary, and then the late goal again to fought that off. So what a win for Tip. Well done to all involved.
Absolutely incredible game. The full-time score. Another thriller. Wexford have been beaten. Tipperary 128. Wexford 320.
Oh, Dara and Michael.